Alright, so welcome back to part 2 of our theme of taking this self-defense curriculum and applying it to sport jiu-jitsu as well. What we're going to look at today is standing in base, something that some people in the past or quite recently have said it's outdated, and the example they give is a UFC fighter who stood in base and still got knocked out. The challenge isn't the technique, it's using it the right way, which is to create space between ourselves and our opponent. So let's have a look at this. Connor, please. I've got one foot posted on the ground and my opposite hand. Not too far back, I won't be able to stand in base here. Okay, we're here. My arms are protecting myself. If Connor wants to try and knee me or hit me or anything like that, it gives a little bit of a shield. This bottom leg here is used to create distance. So as Connor walks in, I can push and I can move back, or I can move him back, or a combination of the two. Now as I've got him moving back, that is my time that I stand in base here. We've created distance, and now we can make our decision. We can run away, we can get some help, or of course if it's a fight situation, we've got space now that we can re-engage on our own terms. Okay, so now we're going to have a look at how we can use standing base in a more sporting sort of context. We're going to use it to finish 2 sweeps, an X-guard sweep and a single leg X-guard sweep. What often happens is those sweeps is you'll get your training partner to the ground or your opponent to the ground, but then it initiates a scramble. By standing in base and using proper control, we can get to an advantageous position and start our passing sequences. So I'm here with Connor, and I have 2 jobs with my X-guard. The reason we call it an X-guard, by the way, my lower legs are making an X here, my rear leg on top, and my bottom leg obviously underneath in that case, his leg on my shoulder. First of all, I want to extend him so far apart that he loses his balance, and that'll force him then to put his hands on the ground. So initially, I stretch, and then his hands come to the ground. You can see we already start to come up here, okay? And this is right where we need to be for our previous technique, that standing base. I like to control kind of right at the knee here, so I've got some torque on his knee here, and I stand in base, and then I come through and I initiate my passing sequence. Okay, so now we're going to look at standing in base to finish a single leg X-guard sweep. It's a really great sweep, but often you can wind up in a scramble. So let's do this. We can wind up here a bunch of different ways, but I'm going to put my legs in between Connor's legs, put my left leg around the outside, right foot comes up underneath his butt, and my hips are elevated. I want to stop this foot from moving. So what I'm going to do here right now is I'm going to lift and turn towards the camera. As we can see, this is a good position, but there could be a scramble. If I don't keep my elbow close to my hip, Connor can start to use this foot either to push off my hip and escape, or he can start to entangle my legs and counter with his own game there. So from here, very simply, I keep everything nice and close. I stand in base, control this leg. I can push in and come to my really nice passing position here, or pass in a bunch of ways. But I've gone from being on the bottom position to now being on top.